Hey guys, it's Mrs. TBK. Join us today as we bake this delicious mocha banana bread in a bundt cake. Use my cool new bundt pan that I got that has Christmas trees basically. See how it works. I'm gonna get it finished being prepped. I've got some butter in there and now I'm doing cocoa so it doesn't show up on the chocolate of the cake. We'll see how that does. Kind of shift it around in there as best we can amongst all those trees. A little bit more in that one. There we go. Okay, then set that aside. All right, I'm gonna take a couple of larger bananas that are a bit older and soft and mash them up. It said 3 medium, so I'm just gonna do the 2 large that I have. It should be just fine. Scrape that off of my masher. Okay, so now that my banana's all mashed up, I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of melted butter. There we go, like my grandma taught me, and scrape out the bowl so we don't waste any of that yummy buttery goodness. There we go. Okay, and then they wanted 3/4 cup of light brown sugar packed. Mash that up against there. I just filled it up, so I don't want to make a huge mess. There we go. Okay. And then 2 teaspoons of espresso. I'm using 1/2 teaspoon here, so 4 of those. All right, and then whisk that together until it's combined. Now we're going to beat in the eggs, 2 large eggs, and the vanilla, which it says 1 teaspoon. I never measure, I just eyeball, because you can't have too much per se. There we go. Break up the egg yolks and whisk that in well. It says in another large bowl to do the dry ingredients. I never do that. I just put it in the same bowl. So that's what we're going to do today. 1 1/4 cups of flour. This is 1/2 cup. So there's 1/2. 1, and then I'm just going to eyeball the 1/4. Here we go. Baking soda and baking powder. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And again, using 1/2. So there's 1. And then 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And salt, which we need 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. It says I'm using pink Himalayan, so it's a lower sodium content, so I'm actually going to go up to 1 teaspoon to make sure it's good to go. Okay, whisk that in, trying not to make a big mess. Okay, that looks really good there. And now we're going to add in our I was supposed to add the cocoa powder, 1/2 cup of that. Okay. There's 1/2 cup of, and it does say dark cocoa powder, but just using my unsweetened baking cocoa. Okay, now for the fun part, we get to fold in the chips. It calls for 1 cup of regular chocolate chips and 1/4 cup for on top, and 1/2 cup of espresso chips. It's gonna be yummy. I've made this once before and it seemed to be a big hit with the family. Here are my espresso chips. So I got these off of Amazon. They're a dark chocolate mocha chip, and 1/2 cup of that. And then for my regular chips, I've got some Toll House dark chocolate chips I'm gonna use that I got from probably Sam's Club. I'll just use my same 1/2 cup measure. There's 1/2 cup and 1. And there, it's about 1/4 cup for on top. I'll clean up just a smidgen here. So you can use a bigger instrument to fold this in if you want to. I have this one dirty, so I'm just going to use what I've got, but I do have a bigger one. When you're cleaning up after yourself or you have family doing it, you don't necessarily want to use a ton of dishes. Okay, so there is our batter.
That was easy.
We're going to grab our bundt pan that we have prepped, like I said. Carefully add that in, scrape it in our bowl, and I'm just kind of working my way around trying to make it evenly fill. This one said you don't want to fill it more than 3/4 full. I think it's going to be just right by the time I spread it around a bit. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay. Alrighty, here is our cake. I'm gonna top it with that 1/4 cup of chips, just kind of sprinkle them around. Now for this cake pan, we're not gonna see it because I think they're just expecting you to do like a 9x9 or an 8x8, but a little extra chocolate never hurt. Now we're gonna put it in a 350-degree oven for, it says 45 minutes. This one will probably go a little bit longer just because it is a bundt cake. They usually go about 55 minutes. And then we will see you back here whenever it's done for a depan and decorating. Okay, so I was gonna put it in my upper oven here, but with how tall this pan is, again, first time I'm using it, it was awfully close to the burner and I don't want the top to get burned. I have a pot roast going in the bottom. So we're gonna add it there at the 350 that it is and go for about an hour and see how it is. If I need to put it up on the top shelf after the pot roast comes out, I can do that, but I think it'll do better. And it was kind of uneven because of the trees, so I'm putting it in my round cake pan so it'll set better. So I'm gonna add it to my lower oven. Hopefully, there we go, perfect. And away it goes. I'm gonna set my timer for 60 minutes. There we go. All right, we'll see you whenever it's done.
Many months later.
So we have our cake and it's been cooling for probably about 20 minutes while I've been making the gravy. So we're gonna hopefully do this cleanly. We shall see. Flip this over to finish cooling. Wait, and do that. Oh yeah, very little crumbs, looks beautiful. We're gonna let it sit and cool off completely before we decorate it, because I'm gonna do powdered sugar, and if I do it now, it's gonna melt. So we're just gonna let it cool down. It's still very hot, and we'll be back later to show the decorating of it, and then we'll do a taste test later. I'll get TBK the links for the Nordic ware pans that I got if anybody's interested. Obviously, it came out really, really clean. I'm super impressed with that. We are not affiliated. I bought this with our own money because it looked really cool and I wanted to do that for our Christmas. Let's go ahead and add the powdered sugar on here. It's gonna be super simple. You could also do a glaze, really simple glaze or a frosting, whatever you wanna do. I'm gonna try to keep this kind of neat because this gets kind of messy. Put some in here. Just gently, and you can do as much snow as you want. You can be singing, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Dreaming here in Texas about snow, but we're not gonna really get it. Surprise, surprise. But that is it. That should be nice and simple, and since that's clean, you can pour it right back in your container and not waste any. There we go. Here is our chocolate mocha banana bread that I found on the Kitchen Fun with My Three Sons website. Now that we've got it all decorated, it is time for a taste test. You almost hate to cut into it. It's so pretty. But it's meant to be eaten. TBK, would you like to come and join me?
Absolutely.
Wait, there you go.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
I like all the snow look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at the chocolate chips.
Dark chocolate, your favorite.
Mm.
There we go.
Oh, wow. It's almost like a breaded, chocolate-covered banana.
Mmm. With a little bit of a coffee.
Bread, yeah, bread just because of the bread itself. But it definitely has like a chocolate covered banana
Yeah.
flavor to it. That's really nice.
So yummy. It's very soft, very moist. Turned out well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Really easy recipe overall. Great way to use up some bananas and kind of mix it up a little, not do just straight banana bread. Hope you enjoy and have a happy holidays. Bye.